The man of the sixth race, a higher level of evolution, necessarily requires a new way of life. Communities of new men build a higher culture. The movie 1,000,000 Years Before Christ, which is otherwise of little significance, at least vividly shows how a finer type of man creates a higher civilization. This is what every individual spiritual disciple can and must work on already now. Wherever an Agni Yogi lives and works, a nucleus of the world of tomorrow is being created. What does this advanced way of life look like? A higher culture comes from living by higher rules. These rules were not established in order to annoy or test you, but simply because they are necessary for the survival of your eternal individuality and for the coexistence of man of spirit. These higher customs and practices are summarized in the 10 pillars of the practice of Agni Yoga, on which there is a separate series of videos. The civilization of the future is presented in the videos on the New World. We shall now be addressing the 5 main aspects which are fundamental for the transformation into a new man. The man of the future lives in a world of his own. The soul is living in the world of the soul. The spirit beings of the sixth race live in 2 worlds at the same time, with the physical body on earth and with their eternal individuality, the fiery body, in heaven. An Agni Yogi verily lives in 2 worlds. This painting by Nicholas Roerich is called Mountain of 5 Treasures, 2 Worlds. It beautifully expresses how behind or above the material sphere towers, as a backdrop, the spiritual world. While your transient personality toils and suffers on the material plane, your eternal individuality is dwelling, unshaken and untouched, in the higher world. Our task is to remind men that as the highest expression of the manifested world, they can be centers for uniting the worlds. If your soul is your real self, the world of the soul is your true home. The expression, at the death of the body, the soul returns to its homeland, is basically inaccurate. The soul always lives in the higher world. As a spiritual being, it cannot exist anywhere else than in a spiritual world. It only has to become aware of its participation in life there. What does the heaven look like in which I live? The spiritual disciple lives in a sanctuary. At the foot of the holy mountain of Shambhala. In the ashram of his teacher, as described in our videos, The Path of the Interior Temple, living in the continuous presence of the teacher, participation in the life of the higher world, and living in the ashram of the teacher. In this true supermundane abode of your soul, nothing but joy, peace, beauty, and solemnity prevail. Here you are safe. Here you are not affected by the turmoil, hardship, and suffering of material life. Here lies your true happiness, which cannot be found on earth. The new man does not seek the land of his dreams in the outside world. He carries heaven in his heart and lives in a paradise under any material circumstances. A soul that wishes to be a spiritual disciple cannot exist in any other sphere. Imagine the hologram of the temple like an air bubble, a protective shell around you. With its help alone, you can survive like an astronaut in space in a hostile environment. You sense when the vibration of your interior temple drops, then your higher self, so to speak, runs out of air to breathe. Should this protected, sacred space around you collapse, you, your eternal individuality, plunge down into a low, coarse, ugly world. In such a hostile environment, a high being of spirit cannot linger for long without himself going down as well. We had already discussed the transformation into the new man is only possible if you simultaneously build a new world in which the work of art you created can live. A fiery being can only exist in a fiery world. From my experience, I can tell you, the effort alone to keep your vibration high is usually not enough, for it is like trying to pull yourself out of the swamp by your own pigtail. According to the law of physics, you need a firm point of support from which you can drag yourself up. The most important tool to protect the artwork of your higher self from damage, to hold your ground on the material plane as a being of spirit among barbarians, is to participate in the life of your teacher's world. Move constantly in the solemn atmosphere of a sanctuary, of your interior temple. Thereby you also maintain your being in a sublime state. The new man is constantly attached to the hierarchy. What do you mean by attachment? How do I establish it? How do I preserve it? Attachment means harmony of vibrations. You are vibrating on the same wavelength. You maintain around you the same atmosphere that prevails on the holy mountain. Isn't that mere illusion? No, this world is existent. You lived there before birth and will return there after death. You may approach it already now and establish a living connection. See our video Connection with the Higher World meditation. The holy mountain and its mighty inhabitants literally stand behind you. You are being guided from above. You receive comfort, strength, joy, knowledge, inspiration, and instructions from your connection with your spiritual Father. Thus, you can always live the right way and move forward in accordance with the higher will, with necessity and the plan of evolution. Attachment further means your place of residence and work is an outpost of Shambhala. How do you mean that? Shambhala is so far away. Despite being far away from London, despite being geographically part of Spain and inhabited by Spaniards, British laws and customs apply in Gibraltar. Here the British king rules, even if hardly any one of the citizens have ever seen him. Similarly, in your house, in whatever state it is situated, the laws and customs of the Brotherhood apply, and the Mahatmas are the government to which you submit. The more places there are where this glorious concept is realized, the further the kingdom of God will spread on earth. By living in an interior ashram against the backdrop of the holy mountain of Shambhala, the new man makes the earth a sanctuary, a new world, which we had called Temple of Humanity. Heaven lies over him wheresoever he goes or stands on the earth, making all the earth a mystic temple to him, the earth's business all a kind of worship. When we speak of the world of the soul, we do not mean just a place, but above all certain beings residing there. Participation in the life of the higher world consists of living in a sacred place, surrounded by friends. In this beautiful world, your eternal home, you enjoy the happiness of living together with your cosmic Father, your teacher, and your spiritual family, your fellow disciples, friends, co-workers, and disciples. You can even converse with them already now on earth. The broadened consciousness carries over the starting point of the thinking into the supermundane plane and attaches itself to the consciousness of the elder brothers of our humanity. Such a consciousness learns to live in its true home and knows in spirit and heart its friends and helpers. Your soulmates notice all your words and deeds, and even your thoughts and feelings. Therefore, you will always behave in such a way that you bring them joy and remain a valued member of the community. In the presence of the teacher, you cannot help but behave with dignity. I entrust you to reject all that demeans communion with us. The old man used to say, "After death, I shall step before my Creator, Lord, and Judge." The new man is aware of something better. I am in the presence of my spiritual father, my teacher, at any moment. While you are toiling in the midst of worldly life, make sure every minute that the connection with your teacher is not disrupted. He is always near. Only you can distance yourself from him through inappropriate behavior. Always ask yourself, is my Father with me? Am I connected to him? Is he smiling? What can I do in case of a crash? Turn to your master. Throw yourself at his feet. How will he help me? The Guru speaks to you through your heart. If you only open your heart, you will recognize exactly what he would advise you. In order to remind yourself of his continuous presence, put up a picture of your teacher or of Mahatma M, not only in your meditation room, but also in the kitchen and the living room. But my family does not want anything to do with these things. Well, we do not want to impose anything on anyone. So put up the picture in spirit and turn to it once in a while, just as if it were there physically.